Good afternoon and welcome everybody. Um, thank you, Professor, for introducing me. I'm going through a couple of minutes in the beginning, going through a. You guys can hear me, right? Is it clear that everybody can
Yes, sir,
hear me
you are
and see the
audible.
screen? Okay. And
Yes, sir, you are
this.
audible
Okay.
and visible.
Okay. Thanks. Um, So the topic I'm going to discuss today is going digital. This is a big buzzword in today's technological world and the industries and success factors for the engineering industries. A little bit about myself. Basically, I am a I okay. So there are a lot of noises. Everybody should be muted. Please do that. So as Professor is pointed out, I was graduating from Bengal Engineering College on 1989 from ETC. Uh, I was working with various organizations after that, and then I did my MBA from California State Universities after that, and I was working for Bentley Systems. And Bentley is one of the pioneer organizations globally who is taking care of infrastructure related solutions and obviously development and selling as well those products. We are one of the market leaders in this industry uh, and in the globally, and even we are present in India as well. So I'm located in Singapore for last 24 years. I am driving the business for Asia Pacific on behalf of Bentley Systems, and obviously now some of the latest things Bentley is doing. I may be mentioning a couple of things about that. How we and this is very much related to the going digital things. So let me go through the process of going digital and what are the components on that. Then I'll be coming into that. So in any case, if you think that I'm not audible or you cannot see the screen, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't understand things are happening. Right. So can you go to the next slide, please?
Yeah, one thing I want to mention, sir, you can
Yeah.
ask the control from me so that I can provide you the control and you can operate on your own.
Okay, so I'll request control. Correct, that's fine, thank you. I guess it is not going to the next screen. Okay, I got that. Yeah, now it's coming. Okay, right. Can I have an idea how many people are joining in this session today, approximately?
Sir, right now we have around 65 people with us.
And mainly the students are there, or there are people from outside as well?
Sir, we have varied number of people from basing from our alumni, outside students, and our current students.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that. Thank you for everybody for joining this. I'm going through a report is there on the screen, which is a industry trends by Gartner 2018. And it is showing that top trends that affect oil and gas industry. So I'll be going a little bit more detail of that. But the gist of this particular report is that digitalization intensifying and number one priority for most of the industries globally. And digitalization is being driven by the business, not by the IT. And the scaling from successful projects across the enterprise is sometimes a problem which need to be sorted out. So this is a growing trend of the industries, and what those terminology means and how to address that and what are the global leaders are thinking about it. That's all about the topic today. Not go to the next screen. Okay. So there are three things I need to mention, which are completely different things, but it is very correlated and the same thing. One is digitization, another terminology is digitalization, and there is digital transformations. These three things, sort of innovations on that in technology terminology, in terms of business terminology, but these are completely three different things. So my next couple of slides are going for those things. I think I have a problem of moving this slide. Okay. Digitization. So this represents the encoding of the analog informations into 0 and 1 digital world so that the computer can store, process, as well as transmit such information. There's nothing there. You do a scanning, you do converting something from a analog audio into a MP3 player. So this is all a digitization, nothing else other than that. This is a process which has been started a couple of years back, and in fact, by doing this digitization, it is nothing to do with the process, nothing to do with the business. Basically, you are making things in a more handy way to operate. Instead of book, you are having the content of the book in an iPad. So that's what it means. So example I've given, converting handwritten and typewritten text into digital format, scan paper drawings into PDF format, converting the music from VHS into an MP3 player is an example for that. So the information is being digitized here, nothing related to process, not the process is being digitized, or nothing related to process is being done. So a company is doing digitizing, that means they are just doing a manually changing the manual information into a digital information. Then the next terminology is coming, digitalization. Okay. Digitalization this represents the use of the digital technologies to change a business model, as well provide new revenue and value producing opportunity. So the process. Here comes basically digitalization, what is helping the process of the business to be changed. The example for that is factory workers putting down their hammers, lathe instead of computer and do for computer controlled equipment. This is a digitalization because they are changing the process and doing in a different way to new innovation are building in, and the technology is building in here so that they can make the process faster, they can get the turnout or the outcome in a better way and efficient way. Automation is a major part of the digitalization story. The world is changing when an organization is said to be done, digitalization being done in their organization. That means they are fast moving organizations. So that it means. Process efficiency improves using better data transparency, so that here the process is getting improved. So this is a step which is more closer to becoming faster and better outcome of an industry. Please bear with me if it is taking a little bit delay in time for getting to the next slide. Yeah, okay. So the third terminology here is called digital transformation, which is a culture when the data from the basis of the business strategy, and data forms the basis of the business strategy and innovation. So that The company is being run based on a lot of information, which is the data informations. Organizations change as well as implementation of digital technologies are main elements to it. So this is basically the end of the day, the business is being changed and they call it a digitally transformed the organization. Every industry needs digital transformations to survive in the world. Digital transformations leverages emerging technologies. Obviously, there are many technologies coming up in today's world, and because of this COVID-19 situation, it is becoming more intensified. This innovation is happening on a bigger scale now because people are bound to certain places and they can do the making decisions of various things of the industry of the company, having some data in front of them. So innovation is pretty fast now in this digital transformation world. Business executives are hungry for digital transformations now. So digital transformation is digital transformation is the business transformations enabled by digitalization. So that means digitalization, and then the digital transformation. These are the three terminologies are there. And I'll be going to a little bit detail about the industries. How does it mean? Okay. So here are some data also from Gartner, and it is telling that 86% of the CEO considers digital is the #1 priority. CEOs believe that the technology will transform their business more than any other global trend. There are many global trends in through last decade or even more than decades. There are technological advancement that was the digital trend at some point of time. Then there is a demographic shift, there is a resource scarcity and the climate changes, then there are urbanization and post-COVID world, some changes are happening. Shifts in the global economic power is another component which is changing. But all the changes are becoming immaterial then, or not as a priority for them rather than the digital transformations or digital changes. So this is becoming a very big changes globally as per the CEO's belief. Trend that will transform the business next 5 years is this digital transformation. Digital transformation is #1 priorities for many global industries, many top companies in the world. Nearly 80% don't have the digital technology they need to do their jobs for the digital transformations. So there is a big vacuum there, and people, the companies want, the CEOs want, the company's ownership and the dealers, the company's leadership wants to be changing into the digital transformations, but they don't have enough technologies for that. The technology need to grow and catch up, and there is not enough people who are being trained on how to do that, and they can help in these transformations. So there is a big vacuum on that, despite the focus on the digital workplace in many years. So many things are still to be done. Now I'm coming a little bit more on the technology front. What are the missing elements here? Why it is not happening so bigger way across industries, across countries, across various geographies, and what are the things missing, and how the new brains, new engineers can come up and basically being trained themselves so that they can be part of the new transformations to be happening throughout the next 5 years or next decade. All the data, okay, so now what slide. So this is 1%. 1% is basically all the data we are generating because of digitization or digitalization, especially digitalization. We are generating a lot of data now. Digitalization is basically I explained that we are changing our digital workflow, say lathe machine, not by hand, by some computer equipment, and it generated a lot of data of that. Similarly, a lot of processes, a lot of engineering designs, engineering drawings, and many things. Basically, we are generating tons of data in many places. And whether all these data are relevant for a digital transformation for a company or not, we need to see. Because these data generated today, and as per the survey, only 1% of the data which is being generated are suitable for a digital transformation. I'm sliding. So data we understand and utilize is called basically making sense to me, makes sense to us. That, okay, so we created the data because of certain applications, because of certain operations, and because of certain process, we created the data. And really, can we use all this data to be useful for the business process to drive or not? Is a question mark always, and that's the 1%, only 1% data we can utilize for our business to drive. So rest of the data, we call it the dark data. So data are there, and these data are not usable, or we don't have a technology, emerging technology to use all these data. So that if you can do something, or our new generation can do something which can make use of this, some part of this dark data, will be moving from 1% to a better percentage of the data to be utilized and more closer towards the digital transformation. So an example, there are various applications, Autodesk or Bentley or different applications are producing a lot of data. For something, we are designing for a process, we are designing for a building, we are designing for different system, basically, which can eventually needed for a particular industry. So we are calling a digital engineering model, it's a BIM or something, basically we are developing it. So, and all the data is produced by different applications, by different vendors, or different ways data being generated. We need to understand all these data to talk to each other. The more they can be utilized, one data, it has to be aligned, then these data are making sense, because some map data has been generated, a lot of data on that. And when the next stage of this probably design process is a road design to be done, and that data cannot be utilized fully, then what we are doing today is that some different department or some different group of engineers are again start from the scratch for designing again a road. Again, somebody is designing a building. Basically, they are not taking these data and they're doing something on their own. Similarly, it is going. So we are not aligning the data. That's why it is told that only 1% of the data being used. And unless we can use all these data, we are missing many things, and we are missing many time, and our company or our organizations is not fully suitable for digital transformations. It's a challenge to get it work. Okay, so if you can, these applications data can be reutilized by another applications. The whole point is basically say in the digital engineering model, as per my example, so that we are using more data, which is part of the dark data now. So right now, the global organizations are trying to use some dark data, what is the easiest possible dark data to be utilized again in the utilized for the business decisions to be made So they are doing that. So digital engineering model is one of the examples basically where a lot of dark data being produced, and those dark data is used when different applications can use similar models, similar data, and similar things. It can come from different vendors, it can come from different ways, but there is a collaboration between vendors has been started globally. So I can share about the informations we are sharing. My company Bentley is doing a lot of data sharing with some companies, basically maybe Autodesk, who are used to be we are competing with each other in the market field, but we realize that if you can share those data, probably it will be easier for globally the industries to grow. Eventually, if they grow, basically our organizations are getting benefited because we have more users, we have more utilization of the data we are producing by different applications we do. So this is one of the ways I'm giving. This is just an example that dark data is to be used. So what is needed here is that we need to have an alignment of the data, of the applications, of the process we are handling. We need to have we need to do a lot of changes in the real world when we are innovating new things, new processes, new designs. So we are doing changes that has to be accommodated. Those data, the first phases data has to be accumulated, and the second phases data, when after the changes happening, also should be part of the data which can be used in the second phase. So data changes are to be part of the things, and we need accountability. Everybody is in these stakeholders has to understand and has to be accountable that what they're producing has to be part of the bigger data pool and which can be utilized for the benefit of the company for digital transformation. And obviously the data has to be accessible. And if these data are accessible and people are accountable and the data are usable, then probably a lot of these dark data we can reutilize and going in the next phase. I'm not going into detail because this is not the forum for going into detail. Usually I go in a lot of detail about that. So here are some points. Basically, I already made it some entry point for new engineers. So this is the area where you need to train yourself. You need to explore yourself and explore more things into that, because there is a huge necessity in the whole global environment that the companies are eager to go into these digitally transform themselves, and they don't have enough skills, enough people, enough technologies to do that. So that those who are helping on the technological front, they probably will redevelop something or innovate something which can help towards this goal to be done for that. And some people basically who may be in operational, they need to know which data are more relevant for the business goal to achieve, the company's business goal to achieve. So you can train yourself that way. You can be some sort of ways you can help the companies to be on that place. So this is an area where the new engineers has to find a lot of scopes of going to the industry and getting better possibilities always. I guess I am more or less. So just a slight example, example of the industries. Which industries are in the forefront of the digital transformations? The retail industry, they had the most respondent. 56% are into this digital transformations phase because they are doing a lot of cost savings on that and innovative on that and efficient on that. The second heavy industry is the oil and gas industry. Most respondents also there. They're being more efficient. They're being more productive. They're being more cost effective. So the oil and gas industry is an area where a lot of transformation, digital transformation is happening. And the financial service industries are probably third. I just mentioned 1, 2, and 3. Other than that, also aerospace industries, the heavy industries, many industries are into that. It is not that they're not doing it. They're doing it, but there are a lot of rooms for there basically to innovate more and getting the help from the new brains to help them doing that. And I think this is a forum I can ask all the young engineers that you guys can try to find more, try to explore more, try to be train yourselves more to do that, which can be a good good way basically to help the industries and help yourself, help your country, help your companies in the new page of innovations. This is kind of I don't have anything else to there, so that there may be a question and answer sessions for that. So if you guys have any questions, I'll try to respond as much possible by me, but I think that this is a little bit difficult of getting the questions or getting the, I can go to the chat box if you want to chat, or you can speak. I try to answer that. Okay. So some moderator, please help me on that.
Okay, sir. So we have already asked our representative to take the questions. We'll ask after this.
Okay.
Thank you, sir, for such an amazing presentation. So now I'll ask Ritam to ask you a few questions from our curious viewers.
Okay.
Over to Ritam.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
We have a question for you. The question is, what is the role of machine learning, mainly unsupervised, to incorporate digitization in metallurgical industries?
Okay. So this is an technology basically which can digitize things, and I explained about the dark data because a lot of data has been produced, and those data are good for that particular operations, but that can help a overall business of that organizations to be efficient, to be growing, or to be taking more decisions about that. Probably it is not. So though there are many dark data has been produced on that. So we need to figure it out, basically all this data to be taken and how to process it in a different way. Maybe different applications are needed, maybe different computers has to be evolved for that, and utilize those data for decision making for the benefit of the company's business, which is probably is not happening that much. Some part of the job has been becoming efficient to do that, what you are mentioning, but it is not addressing the overall thing. So that a lot of innovation scopes are there to do this. Machine learning is a process which can convert the analog into digital, very good on that. But still there are a lot of rooms out there to bring everything into the business decisions to be taken for that particular industry. So there are room for more innovations to be done on that. I guess if you can search Google on that, you can find a lot of new researches are ongoing and a lot of new ways people want to innovate those things and data to be utilized. Is it answering some part of your question?
Okay, sir. Sir, we have another question. What is the scope of digital twins in metallurgical industries?
Okay. Digital twin I did not mention. Digital twin is a step towards digital digital transformation. Say for example, you are having a process being developed, okay, and it is running, it is in operation. But if you want to change some part of the process, what you are doing today, you are having some design calculations to be done, probably some design works to be done back end, and then you go and try to do that changes operationally. And when you do that, there is a room that it may be 100% correct, it may not be 100% correct. So if it is not 100% correct, you are losing many things. You maybe have to stop the process. You may have to delay the whole process for few seconds or minute or month, depends on different kind of processes. So this is being addressed by a digital twin. Digital twin is when you are designing it, you can have a model to be prepared, which is all digitally, all in computer, and that digital model you can do modifications and changes. That okay, I want to change this process from this to this, or the temperature changing, or maybe something changing. Basically, I do this in this model, and that gives an output for you, so that you know before you start the physical operations to be started or physical changes to be done. The digital twin will be, this is a twin of the digitally twin of the main process. It can give you that if you do these changes, this is the outcome is expected. If you do some other parameters changing, this is what is expected. And then you are very confident and clear that, okay, so if I do these changes, this is what I want, and this is how it can react for that. So that is a digital twin. And this digital twin is a new technology. It is the forefront of this. And my company, Bentley, is on forefront of this digital twin technologies. So this is you are representing a complete process into a digital environment, so that you do many things on that. So one of the basic things of that is a BIM technology we are talking about. So this is a very basic example. The BIM is building information. So when you do a building projects to be done, so earlier people are finding there are some beams and columns, and there are some other walls or something basically is there basically, and when they go to the site, they find out that okay, the right beam is not there, or right thing is this thing is not being properly to be assembled. So they do some changes, and when they do changes, basically everything changes, and the outcome is going to be different. It will be delayed. It will be a lot of other consequences are going to happen on that. Then the BIM technology, when it comes in, is a building more towards the infrastructure building industries, and in information industries are correlating with that. So they are preparing the walls or some sort of modular construction being done earlier. They do that modeling and then bring and put it into this construction site, so that they are overcoming many of these situations, and it is more faster and efficient way of doing things. So digital twin is far better technology than them, or it is a more advanced technology than them. It is not addressing only a building technology, it is addressing the entire process. It is probably very relevant to the metallurgy industries, very relevant to oil and gas industries, very relevant to telecommunication industries, many industries, because these are heavy investment kind of industries. And once you invest on that, and you given decisions that you want to go for it, you need to make sure that you are on the right direction. Even when some operations being failed or because of certain errors happening, so that again you can go back to the digital twin and find out basically why the error happened. So this is the outcome for the error is the outcome now, and then you can stimulate what are the things happened on this whole process so that this outcome has come. So digital twin can help on both sides. Basically, you can change inputs, you can change outputs, and you can find out the error quickly. So this is taking a decisions for the companies very easier. This is a digital transformation, true digital transformation.
Okay, sir. We have one last question. Any suggestion for steel plants to deal with the post-COVID-19 situation from the perspective of digitization?
Obviously, if there are more we call it a modernization in India. There's a terminology being used in many countries in India. A lot of things are being used, but this is a digitalization being done. Not much of the digital transformations being done in many industries in this part of the world, in Asia especially. So obviously, how to utilize those data into this COVID environment is a innovation, and many companies, many innovative software companies are coming with that to use this dark data which is being produced by what is being done today, so that many people are not in the operation. Still, there'll be some people to be in operation, and they'll be having the proper properly following the guideline, basically what to do, but not many people has to be there on the operation, so that many people from their safer environment, from their home, from their safer environment, they can control these things, or they can let the operation run in the COVID-19 situation if the digital transformation done in a better way and bigger way. So now the industries are coming back globally, back into the business, back into the operation phase, many areas. And this is a time which are the industries are done their exercise earlier on the digital transformations. We don't know yet, because still people are coming back into this. So we'll be seeing probably next 1 month or 2 month time that some of the companies are doing better, some of the industries are doing better than the other in this situation. So that will indicate that they are more digitally transformed than the rest of the things, because they are using less people to be in the critical stage of operation, but at the same time the company is bringing the outcome or the desired output at the same speed, or maybe in a bigger speed, maybe in a growth mode. So we don't know that, but we'll see. Probably oil and gas is one of the areas, basically as per the survey, that they are probably in this phase already. And probably steel industry, I did not see that steel industry's name in many places, that they are very much digitally ahead of the curve on the digital transformations. But maybe some countries, some industries are doing that, they'll lead the way. Okay, that's I can say at this moment.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have one last question. That is, how to shift into digitization for a metallurgical graduate from the perspective of job opportunities?
I mentioned few things you need to do. Obviously, probably you need to understand and being part of digitalization phase more on the metallurgical industries, so that you know that I mentioned about the accountability and the taking the ownership of producing data, which will be more relevant to the industry, so that you either you can make your applications such a way. If you are a developer, you can make the application such a way so that it can be more addressing towards the bigger picture of the company's business, or you can develop certain kind of data to be reutilized, which can be helpful for decisions to be made in a bigger way. So I think there are a lot of scopes out there. I cannot directly can say that what are the ways of doing it. Probably you need to do a lot of researches, a lot of things on that. But being into these categories of training yourself will be helping you to be ahead of the other people who are not into this thing now. So that this is an indication that probably you can research more, you can train yourself more into this. Those who are probably second year, third year, they have still time to innovate them in themselves and train themselves up. Those who are in the final year, they may be learning many things now, but when you go and find out the job opportunities, probably if you can answer some outcome-centric ways to the industries where you are interviewing or you're trying to find a job, probably it will be more relevant for those interviewer to accept you. They know that you have an outcome in mind. You know that how companies are going to grow, and probably that can help you in your interviews easily and doing that way. So that may be my advice, that you guys have to explore more in these areas. That is an area where obviously some of the Western countries are ahead of the Asian countries, university students. So probably we can drive ourselves more into that area. Probably will be more a part of what is being expected by many of the top industries now. Okay, I think that's I can say at this moment.
Okay, sir, we have another question from the participants. Many of them are saying this, that what is the opportunity at Bentley Systems in terms of internships?
Yeah, there are always opportunities are there. Basically, that is obviously you have my email ID. I think I encourage you to having some conversations or send some mails, and then obviously we can discuss on that. There are opportunities, I can say.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful talk on going digital, on industries going digital. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, Team Reminiscence is very grateful to you for your time and consideration.